Mathematics class 11 chapter 14 mathematical reasoning. In the last class we have studied exercise 14.4. Today we shall study validating statements and exercise 14.5. Now validating statements means when we can say that the given statement is true or not. For this we have got some general rules. So let us study those rules one by one. Rule 1. If P and Q are mathematical statements, then in order to show P and Q is true. Now we have got a mathematical statement, a compound statement which has got two component statements, let us say P and Q. And if they are connected with A and D and P and Q, and we have to check whether it is true or not. So for that we have got two steps. Step 1, show that statement P is true. Okay, so first we show the first statement is true. Step 2, show that the second statement, that is statement Q, is true. And we show that statement Q also is true. That is when the statements are connected with A and D. Rule 2, to show that P or Q is true. Now if the statement is two statements are connected with or, then how to show that? Okay, so for that, case 1 is by assuming that P is false, show that Q must be true. So here we assume P is false and we have to show Q must be true. And case 2 is we assume that Q is false and we show that P must be true. Rule 3, statement with if P then Q. Okay, this is implication. So for that, case 1 is assuming that P is true, prove that Q must be true. This is called direct method. So we assume P is true and we have to prove or we have to show that Q must be true. Case 2, assuming that Q is false, prove that P must be false. So we assume Q is false and we show that or we prove that P must be false. This is called contrapositive method. Okay, Q false implies P false. That is a contrapositive method. Rule 4, statement with if and only if. Now the implication which is in the statement is if and only if. Then for this, number 1 is if P is true, then Q is true. And number 2 is if Q is true, then P is true. Okay, so we have to just check whether P is true, that will imply Q also true, and if it is Q is true, then it will imply P is true. That is called your when the statement is with the implication if and only if. So these are the 4 rules which we use for validating the statement. Next we have got methods to check validity of statement. Number 1, direct method. Okay, that is this one. We assume that P is true and we prove that Q must be true. This is your direct method or direct method. Number 2, contrapositive method. That is if statement P implies Q, then not Q implies not P. This is one. Assuming that Q is false, prove that P must be false. Okay, this is same thing I have written here. Number 3, method of contradiction. In this, we assume P is not true. That means not P is true. P is not true means the negation of this should be true. That is not P is true. Then we arrive at some result which contradicts the assumption. Okay, and we have to arrive at a result which will contradict the assumption that is P is not true. Therefore, we conclude that P is true. Right? So this is the method of contradiction. Number 4, using a counter example. In this, we give an example. Give an example of a situation where the statement is not valid. So we have to give an example where the statement is not valid. Exercise 14.5. Question number 1. Show that the statement P, if x is a real number such that x cube plus 4x equal to 0, then x is equal to 0, is true by number 1, direct method, number 2, method of contradiction, method of contrapositive. So we have to show that this given statement is true by the 3 methods. One is direct, other is contradiction, and third one is contrapositive. The given compound statement is of the form if P then Q. Okay, if x is a real number such that x cube plus 4x equal to 0, then x equal to 0. So this statement is P and this statement is Q, right? So it is if P then Q. So that is the form of the given statement. So let us write the statement P and Q. So statement P, I can write from here as x is a real number, that is x belongs to R, such that x cube plus 4x equal to 0, and Q will be the second statement, this much, that is x is equal to 0. Method 1 will use the first question, that is by direct method. If we assume that P is true, then x belongs to R. So in this we'll assume that P is true. That means this statement is true. So this statement is true means x belongs to R such that x cube plus 4x equal to 0. From here you can take x common. So you get x into x square plus 4 equal to 0. Now x is a real number, that is x belongs to R such that from here we can say x is equal to 0 or x square plus 4 equal to 0. But we know that x square plus 4 is not equal to 0. Why? Because if you transfer this over here it becomes minus 4. And square of any negative number is not real number. It is a complex number. And we are given that x belongs to R. Therefore this value x square plus 4 is not equal to 0. Right? So we can say that from here x is equal to 0 as x square is not equal to minus 4. We cannot take this because we are given x is a real number. This implies that q is true, right? Q is true means x is equal to 0. That is your q statement. So that is true, right? So if p is true, then q is true. That is when p is true, then q is true. Therefore given compound statement is true. So this is by the direct method. Now second method we'll use as a contradiction. Assume that p is true and q is false. If I assume that q is false, that means x is not equal to 0, because q equal to 0 is true, right? And we are assuming that it is false, that means x is equal to 0. Then if x belongs to R, that is x is a real number such that x cube plus 4x equal to 0. From here take x common, so x into x square plus 4 equal to 0. So from here what we can write? X equal to 0 or x square plus 4 equal to 0, okay, just like the previous, and x belongs to R because it is a real number. So now from here what we can say? X is equal to 0 as x square is not equal to minus 4, okay, as I said that square of a negative number is a complex number, it is not real number. So this is not possible, which is contradiction to our assumption that x is not equal to 0. So we can say that the given compound statement is true. Okay, we assume what? X is not equal to 0, but what we come to conclusion that this value equal to this x square not equal to minus 4 but x equal to 0. So contradiction to our assumption. Therefore we can say that the given compound statement is true. Number 3, method of contrapositive. Assume that q is false. So first we'll assume q is false. That means x is not equal to 0 because q equal to 0 is the second statement, right? Means q equal to 0 is the second statement, so x equal to 0, but we are assuming contradiction, so we consider that this q is false. That means x is not equal to 0. So then x is not equal to 0. X belongs to R such that x square plus 4 is not equal to 0. This also we know because we have already done here, right? Previously we have done. Here also we did, here also we did, right? That means if x square plus 4 not equal to 0, that means p is false, right? If this implies p is false, so we can say that if q is false, then p is false. Therefore given compound statement is false, right? So that is the calculation or proof of question number 1. We have showed in 3 different methods that the given statement is true. Question number 2, show that the statement for any real numbers a and b, a square equal to b square implies a equal to b is not true by giving a counter example. The given compound statement is of the form if p then q. Okay, this is the one. For any real number a and b, a square equal to b square implies a equal to b. Okay, so this is the given statement. So here it is if p then q, that is the form. Assume that p is true, then a, b belongs to R such that a square equal to b square. So we assume that the first statement is true, right? So we can say that a, b belongs to R, the real numbers, okay, that is one, real numbers, right? A and b are real numbers, that means a, b belongs to R, such that a square equal to b square. This is true, okay. Now let us take, they have asked us to take a counter example. So I'll take a value as minus 2 and b value as 2. And let us find the square. So a square will be minus 2 square is 4, right? And b square is 2 square, that is also 4. Now what we found, a square equal to b square, both are 4 4. So a square is equal to b square, but we know that a and b are not same because a is taken minus 2, b is taken 2, but a not equal to b. Therefore we can say that if p is true, then q is false. Therefore the compound statement is not true. So this is the example we have given. You can take either minus 3 3, you can take minus 4 4, right? So we can take any real numbers and we can show that the given statement is not true. Question number 3. Show that the following statement is true by method of contrapositive. Statement P. If x is an integer and x square is even, then x is also even. So the first part up to here you call it as P, and the second part you call it as a Q, and here it is if then. Okay, so the compound statement is of the form if P then Q. Okay, so I have written here the given compound statement is of the form if P then Q, right? So I am just writing P from here, the first part from up to here, that is P, x is an integer, that is x belongs to Z, and x square is even. So this is given in P statement, and Q is from here x is an even integer. Okay, we have to use contrapositive. Now in contrapositive method we have seen that if P implies Q, then not Q implies not P. So negation of Q implies negation of P. Okay, so let us see the negation of Q now first. So negation of Q means not Q means from here, right? So we assume that Q is false, right? So Q is false means this is false, that means negation of this should be true. That means x is not an even, given that x is even integer, but we are considering that it is false, right? So if it is false, we will consider that x is not an even. Okay, the contrapositive method is assuming that Q is false, prove that P must be false. Okay, so that is what I am going to do here. So I am assuming that Q is false, that means x is not an even because it is false. Okay, given as even, but we are taking false, so x is not an even. This implies x is an odd. If it is not even, x is integer, so it has to be odd integer, right? If it is odd integer, if I square, x square will be also odd, because if x is odd, then its square also will be odd. So x square is an odd integer. But what is even here? X square is even. And we are coming to conclusion that x square is an odd integer. That means P is false. That is, when Q is false, then P also is false, right? Therefore statement P implies Q, then not Q implies not P. Therefore the given statement is true. Okay, so what we have proved, this contrapositive method, using this method I have proved that I assume that Q is false and we prove that P must be false. Okay, so that is what we proved. We assume that Q is false and we prove that P is also false, right? So we can say the given statement is true. Question number 4. By giving counter example, show that the following statements are not true. Roman number 1. P, if all the angles of triangle are equal, then the triangle is an obtuse angle triangle. So we have to give a counter example, right? So let us prove this. Since the triangle is obtuse angle triangle, means theta should be greater than 90, right? If it is obtuse, you know that the angle should be greater than 90. So let us assume, let us take any number more than 90 degree. So I'll take here theta equal to 100. Also all the angles of a triangle are equal. Okay, they have given us that all the angles are equal, right? That means all the three angles are 100 degree, right? So if you sum all the angles, sum of angles of a triangle, 100 plus 100 plus 100 gives you 300 degree. But you know 300 degrees is greater than 180, and you know that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. So if it is 300, then this is not possible because it should be equal to 180. Therefore the given statement is not true. So the given statement is false. Roman number 2. Statement Q, the equation x square minus 1 equal to 0 does not have a root lying between 0 and 2. This is the equation given to us. So here x square minus 1 equal to 0. Minus 1 transfer over here becomes plus 1. So x square is equal to 1. Take a square root on both the sides, you get x is equal to plus or minus 1. So that means x value is plus 1, x value is minus 1. Now the plus 1 will lie between 0 and 2, right? So we can say Q is not true. So the given statement is false. So we have given here, when you solve this, you directly get the answer as 1, plus or minus 1, but 1 we have to take only which lies between 0 and 2, that is 1. Question number 5. Which of the following statements are true or false? In each case, give valid reason. Roman number 1. P, each radius of a circle is a chord of a circle. You know that is false, right? Why? Because you know the radius is this one, right? The radius, this is my circle, this is suppose center O, and this is the radius R. Now the radius is starting from the origin and the other endpoint is on the circle, right? And chord, you know, this is the chord, right? The end points of the chords are on the circle. right? So what they have given us, each radius of a circle is a chord of a circle. You can see this is a radius and this is a chord, so obviously it is wrong, right? You can say this chord is AB, so this is AB, and you can say that this is not true, so we can say that it is false. We have to give the reason, so I give the reason as a chord of a circle is a line segment whose two endpoints lie on a circle. Therefore, radius of a circle is not chord of a circle. Okay, it is very clear, but we have to give the reason. You can draw this figure and you can give that this is a radius and this is the chord. Roman number 2, statement Q. The center of a circle bisects each chord of the circle. You know this is also false, right? Now see, this is the chord and this is the center. You can see that it is not even lying on the chord, so that means it will not bisect. But yes, if you are taking a diameter will always pass from the center, it pass will from the center of the circle. Then surely this center will bisect the chord. The largest chord or the diameter will be the largest chord, and it will always pass from the center, right? And that time, in that case, this center will bisect the chord, otherwise it will not bisect. Okay, and here they have said that it will bisect all the chords, right? Therefore it will not true, each chord of the circle, therefore it is a false. And the reason I can give is as the center of the circle bisects the chord of a circle when the chord is a diameter. Okay, as I showed in the figure. When chord is other than diameter, then the center does not lie on the chord, and it is obvious that it does not bisect. Roman number 3, statement R. Circle is a particular case of an ellipse. This statement is true. Why it is true? Because we know the equation of an ellipse is given as x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. This is the standard equation of the ellipse. Now suppose we put a is equal to b or b is equal to a. Okay, I will put here b equal to a. We are considering a particular case. Okay, so I will put instead of b equal to a. So here put a, so you get here x square by a square plus y square by a square is equal to 1. This a square can transfer over here. So you get x square plus y square is equal to a square, and this is a equation of the circle whose radius is a and whose center is 0, 0. Okay, so this is the particular circle, or the circle, it is a equation of the circle. Therefore, we can say the statement is true. Okay, the ellipse, the circle is a particular case of an ellipse, and that is a true statement. Roman number 4, statement S. If x and y are integers such that x greater than y, then minus x less than minus y. Now this given statement is true. Okay, let us see how. Given that x, y belongs to z. Why? Because they are integers. Such that x is greater than y. Now if you multiply both this side in this inequality by minus 1. Okay, I am multiplying by minus 1. So x, y belongs to z such that minus x minus y, but when you multiply by minus, this inequality will change as a negative. Okay, it is like this, the inequality is in this side, now it will change into over this side, right? Why? Because it is by the rule of inequality. So by inequality, if you multiply by negative, then it becomes minus x, this greater than becomes less than minus y. Therefore given statement is true, and that is what? Minus x is less than minus y. So the given statement is true. Roman number 5, statement T. Root 11 is a rational number. Now this is a false. Why? Since 11 is a prime number, we know that, and root 11 cannot be expressed as p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Okay, since it is a prime number, root 11 cannot be expressed by this value. Okay, so we can say that it is false, right? Therefore given statement T is false. Here we end the exercise 14.5 and we'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.